Don't disturb the class. Mute the mic. So we'll start now the session. So now last time what we saw is all the important things and essential containers of the lightning bundle and all. Now next thing that we are going to see is how we can implement various attributes and the essential things in the lightning. In short, we will be understanding some useful building blocks of the lightning. So let's proceed and try to understand how that is possible or how we can do this. So first of all, what we'll do is we will go for the Salesforce environment. Let me just do that. And we'll just try to understand now using lightning component by various angles, various dimensions. So let's proceed. So here what we'll do that first of all we will implement or create the domain. So first of all we'll create the domain. Now what is this domain and why it is necessary? Because whenever you are going to start any lightning activity or lightning functionality, then please note here the most important thing is to create the domain. So before you start anything, the first step should be domain. Then only you can perform something in the lightning environment. So what exactly is the domain? First of all, if you see here that if you see in my screen, then you can see here something like this is present in the URL, something like my name or something like this, but different. And when you see in your screen, then in this case you will get just simple login.salesforce.com. So this is actually what the domain is. Like, I created my domain in my environment. So similarly, the domain is required for your environment also for this process. So what you need to do is either you can use a different either you can use a different org, because you are going to get lots of learning and you are going to get lots of activities hands-on and all in this. So lightning, so keep your lightning knowledge separate and to keep your classic knowledge separate, the advice is to keep both the org different. That is point number one. And second thing, so that what will happen, that whatever mini projects we will create so many mini projects and all. So whatever we do here in all these cases, you can separate it out and you'll not get confused between your lightning and classic environment. Okay, so do that one, that step as a advice from my side. And now second thing, always remember that when actually we create the domain, then after this the difference will be something like this. So for example, now if I create a domain, if I'm not having any domain, then it's something like this, or depending on your continent where you are. Now I'm in Asia Pacific, so it's coming like this. If you're in USA, then it will be something like this. Okay, so this will be there, but we don't want this, because if you're going to proceed with this, then you will not be able to perform any kind of lightning activity. Okay, so that is point number one. Now second thing, how to create the domain. So what you need to do is, first of all, follow the steps. So go to your Salesforce environment, then click on setup, click on setup, then now what you need to do is uh, go to setup, and in the build you have the option for creating the domain. So go to the build, and then you need to search, or you can directly type in terms of administration building. So here you go for that. Let me just show you. See here in the administration, in the domain management, then click on domains. You can even see your domains. Open both. So open domains, open my domains. So you can see there are some domains in my environment, and here you need to proceed with this. So these domains, whatever registered, you don't need to worry about this. And in my domain, you need to perform something. Okay. So here in my domain, first of all, you will have a different step here. In my domain, if you see, it is going to give you the option or chance to enter a domain name. Okay, so something like this. Now my screen is different because I already created domain, so this is different than your screen, but you will have something like this where you can enter the name. Okay, so you need to enter any unique name as per your wish. Let's say your name, let's say a special name like a company name or something like that. Enter anything, then you can check whether this domain name is available or not. Then Salesforce will say, now I entered, while checking my domain name, I entered Shekhar. It was not available. It was taken by someone else. It's same like a website. Okay. So you want to create a website, and the website name should be ibm.com. It's already taken by IBM. You don't have that. Then you need to create something like IBM 1234 or IBM 016, anything like this. Then you will get, right. Exactly here also. Now I did not get that. Then I entered Shekhar 455, just some random name, and I got that. Then I registered that, and that's it. Okay. So you guys also need to do the same thing. First of all, enter here the domain name, and then check it whether available or not. You will see at the right hand side it will be available or not, and how it will be displayed. Let me just show you. So you can go by that option. So let me just show you 1 second. Okay, so it will be something like this for you. Okay, your screen will be something like this. So in that you enter whatever unique name you want to have. Okay, you can do it right now also, whatever unique name you have, and then test it, and if it's available, then register. So step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, and step number 5. Okay, so this way you need to first of all create your domain, otherwise you cannot do any programming in Lightning. Okay, please note, you cannot do any programming, you must create a domain. So do this, or you can do this later words also, and then let me know whatever difficulties you're finding. Okay, so now next thing is, why domain, like why we need the domain. What is the benefit of domain in Lightning, or what is so important that we cannot do anything in Lightning without this. So please note, first of all, this domain implements the or gives you the security, because now, as compared to the entire world, I'm talking about entire world, okay, as compared to the entire world, now you will be having something different in terms of the Salesforce environment. So here what will happen is you'll have your own URL. So everyone will be having that Asia Pacific 1.salesforce.com and all, it's common. But when you go for your own domain, then you will have your different identity. And here this will help you to give a business identity with unique domain URL. Plus also this will also help you for security purpose, because you will be having a different URL in that, and that is also important. Next is, let me mention here. So first of all, useful for business branding. Now you can check in the industry that all the big companies and all which are using Salesforce environment, they prefer using domain name, because immediately their branding gets started from the URL only. In the URL only, for example, here we are writing some kind of company name. For example, we are writing microsoft.salesforce.com. Immediately it gives branding and the URL level only. Okay, so it is useful for business branding. Then gives separate URL than industry. So after that, no one will be able to use your URL name. So once you book it, that's it, it's yours. So in the entire world, it will be separate URL. Otherwise, till this point, everyone using same URL, ap1.salesforce.com or .salesforce.com, whatever it is, everyone is having same thing. So that is something important for us. Now we'll get some kind of different thing. We'll get security. Now, no one can log in to our org using non-matching URL. So in this case, suppose he's not using the proper URL and all, we can use this benefit, and our org will be separate for them. So that is one more advantage we will be getting. So this way we can block and redirect page request which is not using our domain name. By security, we can block request to pages which does not domain name. And these are features, but ultimate reason why we are using this is lightning will not work if you are not going to proceed with this. And now last benefit we can work on multiple orgs with ease. So when you are working on multiple orgs and all, you can easily see the domain name and all, you can identify which is this org and what it's doing and all, so it becomes beneficial. And final thing, lightning needs domain setting. So you must do this domain setting, otherwise you cannot do anything. Okay, so perform this activity within just few minutes and all, your domain will be registered, and that's it. Then you can be ready for the next thing. Now once it is done, then next step that you need to is now start working on some important activities. So let's go for that. So my domain is ready. Now we'll go inside the Salesforce environment, and now after this please note, uh, testing domain. So please note, after this, whenever you are going to relog in, just restart, log out and log in when your domain is registered and all. Then for testing purpose and all, whenever you will just see at the URL, you'll easily understand, okay, so my domain name is changed. Like this, you can check. So this way you can test and understand that where my domain name is and what is my domain name is. Okay, fine. So let's proceed now, and that is enough for your Lightning activities. So click on this and go to the developer console, or first of all go to Lightning experience, and from that we'll go for developer console, because now we are going to keep classic behind. Okay, so now click on this and click on developer console. Okay, now let's get started for doing something additional. So what we'll do now, first of all, as you understood yesterday, that how is the lightning flow and design and everything you understood yesterday. So today we are going to see now how we can take the benefit of that flow, and that life cycle of lightning which is present, how we can implement it. So the step number one is, first of all, now you can perform this same activity by watching the video laterwards. As of now, you just focus and understand the concept, because while writing something, I'm going to explain the meaning of that concept. So this way, your foundation will be very strong. And second thing, this way you can understand what actually is the significance of every step. So right now you don't do anything, just focus on the screen. Even you can keep domain registration aside, it's not something which is important right now. You can do this laterwards while watching the video as well. So now first thing what we'll do is we will create the lightning um, application. So click on file, click on new, and then we'll give now uh, here lightning application name. Okay, so now what we'll do here, to ensure that we will be having a separate identity, or we'll be having some idea what all applications we are doing, or etc. Okay, so here what we are going to do is every uh, application that we are going to create, that will uh, that will do with the name training. Okay, so that we'll understand what all applications we are here creating for training purpose and all. So training, I'm going to start everything with this application training, and then after this we'll write first application. Okay, that's it. Now simply click on this also, because I'm going to explain you this also, and click on submit. Okay, so immediately you can see you got a bundle which is having so many things. And before I proceed, just let me inform you guys one more time that if please check your uh, chat box, and immediately select Shekhar if it is not selected. Okay, so that you will not disturb the other people. Quickly select Shekhar while typing, and if you are able to see something like this, then note that you are going to use the always option, the three dot, and then we are going to type, not the first one. Okay, so immediately do that, so that you will not do any kind of disturbance to the session. And now let's continue. Remember, every time whenever you log in. Okay, so now I think there is a question. No, the screen is not frozen. Please relog in, because everything is fine from my end. Look at this, my network is fine, and uh, it's okay. Okay, please relog in, because everything is fine from my side. Okay, so now please pay attention. This you will get. Now here what you need to understand is this. Now here I'm going to tell you, explain you step by step all the things. Please pay attention. First of all, So in the testing domain, your URL must give the new name or format. Okay, that testing you can do. Now next is, please note, whenever we are going to perform now application creation, in that case you will get something like this. Okay, you get something like this. So here, please note, this Aura application. This is same like something like this which you created in Visualforce page. It is same like tags in VF pages. Okay, so you created various tags and all in Visualforce pages. It's similar to that only. For example, let's say here you created Apex, let's say page block. Okay, so exactly same like these are all tags where Aura is namespace, where lots of tags are created, and same with Apex, it's also namespace. Okay, so it means it's nothing but it's having collection of lots of tags, and we just need to use one by one whatever necessary for us. There are so many things like this. So there is UI tag, there is Aura tag, there is so many things. There are so many things. So we are going to see this, by the way, in later words. Okay, so just understand this is nothing but namespace. So what it's going to do now is it's going to give you one application. That's it. But if you write this, then it will not work because it will be only useful for the lightning out functionality using in Visualforce page. Okay, this just understand for your knowledge. This is for using lightning in VF pages that you will see laterwards. Okay, this is not useful right now, so comment it out. That's it. Okay, now your application is having nothing. Okay, but now for your process, when you are going to do domain creation and all after the session, to ensure you have done properly, that is the reason I'm showing this step. Once you do this activity, just create an application, and here in the application, testing my domain registration step, whether you have done correctly or not. Okay, so just save this, and here click on preview. Click on preview. If it is coming like this, it's coming like this, then great, you have done correctly, then it's working correctly. So you are ready to start your lightning journey. Okay, this should be working. If it is not coming, some other error is coming, something like that, then at that time you inform me. Okay, if it is coming like this, then you're done. Good. So it's a good start. And now it's time to go for the next thing. So come here and go to that application. Now here, please note, if you remember the yesterday session, I told you that mostly in the application, mostly, or what you can say, 99% of the time now, currently, not in the past, because in the past we used to do some kind of thing in application. I told you yesterday. So please note here, right now or recently, we are not doing anything much in the application because our entire work is shifted in the component, and even some kind of UI and all which we need, that's also not necessary here. Everything is we are doing in the component. So 99% time you will do nothing in lightning application. It will be something like this only. And now just one thing which people started using from the last 2-3 weeks. Okay, just before few weeks it started, because Salesforce gave this new additional functionality. It's amazing. So what we need to do this is, first of all, you just need to add this in the lightning, just add this. So just cut this, just do this. Okay, now see, just you need to add this extend forced SLTS. So now previously we used to worry about the look and feel, and by loading some file and thinking about some static resource and all, but now it's not needed. Just add this, and now let me show you the output. See the output, can you see? Just keep in your mind, see the output. Okay, it's looking very much ordinary, normal. Okay, now see what's going to happen. Just save this. As soon as you save, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of UI facilities and look and feel and everything is available to your lightning just by writing this 10-15 characters. That's it. Look at this, how powerful Salesforce is making your coding here. Hundreds and hundreds of features just by writing this is available now. Now you can see how the change will be there in the look and feel update preview. Just look at this. This is becoming more sleek, more neat, and more proper, right? So this is called as taking the benefit of lightning look and feel just by writing that 5-10 letters. That's it. Okay, so compulsory you write here onwards. It's nothing but a very great gift given by Salesforce to developers like us in lightning before just few weeks, not far also, just few weeks before. Okay, next. Okay, that is done. That's it. Now do nothing. Apart from that, do nothing. You don't need anything. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to remove now this because we already tested. So remove this. And now what we'll do in this case, here, once testing is done, now we will be simply going for following the proper format. Now, as per best practice, we need not write business logic or UI code in application. We must, or we should only call component. That's it. Do nothing. Okay. Component, or you can go for components. If you have multiple components, call multiple components. But that's it. You don't do anything. Okay. So change code to something like this. Now, why will write business logic? Just copy this and do nothing here. And anyways, this comment I already explained, so remove this now. And here, okay, so C colon, then here component name. That's it. So you can see your component name. Okay, so please note, as per the best practice, we need not write any business logic in UI code and all this application. Just modify and change code to this. That's it. Your code is now this. Just call the component name. That's it. Okay, fine. So now what we'll do, now we don't have any component, right? So we need to create the component. So what we'll do now here, we'll first of all create the component. And here, one more interesting thing, don't forget this. C colon is what? Now you know very well. Now you know very well what is this colons and all. What is the meaning of C colon? What is called? What is this called? Yes, very good. It is called as namespace. Always remember, whenever you see something like this, it's namespace. It's collection of lots of features in your environment. So C colon is again a namespace already given by Salesforce. We use this for calling components. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so again it's a namespace, and by this we can call our component. But do we have any component? No. So then let's proceed for creating the component. And add UI or you add logic, your wish. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to just wait for the component to be ready. So here go for file, new, lightning component. If you remember, I told you yesterday, every business logic will be going to this. Okay, so application is just for calling and component is for writing all your business logic. So always remember that if you the way you learn in the development syllabus from my side, where I told you two things, that trigger is just for redirection and apex class is for entire business logic. Exactly same thing. This application is just for redirection, calling this component, calling this component, calling that component. That's it. And your entire business logic should be present in component that we are going to create. So we'll write here training first instead of, now what is the format we are going to follow is we are going to give the same name, application name, and then I'm going to write the component. The reason behind this is, and which is a very common mistake done in the industry by even experienced people and new people and all, that when you have lots of components and lots of applications, it becomes completely confusing that which component is being used by which application, which is for what, and etc, etc. We don't understand properly. So the way in the visual force page we follow the style, the process. In the visual force page, for example, we have visual force page equal to show uh, count, something like this. This is the visual force page. This is the VF page. Then what we do, we write the apex class name as a controller name as show count controller, right? This is what we do in visual force page. Exact same style we need to follow here. Otherwise, when you start working and will be ahead in the syllabus, and when we'll have lots of real-time case studies and all, you'll completely confuse that what is coming from what and etc. So follow these standards. Training first application component. Now I can very easily understand, okay, it is coming from, or it is coming for training first application by checking at the first name only, and then the component. That's it. You write component, you write compo, anything. If it is getting lengthy, then just write compo. Okay, I'm writing component. That's it. Then now here uh, we need to understand one important thing. These actually again are some additional features by which you can perform lots of interesting things, and very important for your interview nowadays. My many previous batch students got the questions on this in the interview, so it's very important. Okay, so I'm going to select it first of all and I'm going to explain you. So pay attention, this is a very popular interview question. Just take it in the next line. You can do that like this. Okay, this is what we do. This is how we represent in the real-time project also. So I'm showing this all small things because I want that once the syllabus is completed, you should be ready with the real-time knowledge also and that confidence also. Now, let's say you're writing a lightning component, and let's say you're having some kind of this scenario or something like this. Many very easily the person can understand, your manager or let's say your senior, that okay, this person is not having the experience or just having not that knowledge, because it's a common sense that whenever we get this kind of long string and all, what we do here, that in the real time project, to understand what all the attributes are added and all, we simply keep this at different level like this. Okay, you can see here this way we work. So I'm going to tell you these small things only to ensure that you should be having that clarity to face the industry and get those amazing offers which are going on in the industry for lightning people. So let me tell you now one by one what all these things are. These are very important for your understanding when to use what. So let me just copy this and come to your notes file, and here I'm just going to remove this. So this is important for interview. In the previous, just before few days, one of my student got this in IBM, Citibank. Okay, so like this introductions came for them. So let me mention here, lightning component can implement various features using attribute attribute called as implements. Okay, I hope you guys know this thing, what is the meaning of attribute and all. So please note that suppose let's talk about Visual Force page. Suppose you're writing apex, then page block, then please note, and let's say title, let's say my block. Okay, if you're writing like this, then please note the meaning of this is apex page block is nothing but tag. It's a tag, and this is nothing but giving some additional knowledge for your tag, or additional activity for your tag, or additional changes for your, so it's called as attribute. Okay, which tells what to show, and this tells how to show. Okay, I hope you know these things. It's from Visual Force page. So same thing here in Lightning. So you can see that this is in Lightning, this one is called as attribute component. So this aura component is combining called as the tag, and these are all the attributes for that tag. Okay, they are telling what how to do, and this is saying what to do. Okay, so remember these important things. Now here, so this is example, and now let me tell you what they are going to give us. If you are going to use this, okay, then component can be used in mobile app, Salesforce mobile application. If you are going to use this, then here component can be used in Lightning experience pages. Next, then here, let me just copy this. Here, so component can be used in record pages. Okay, and if you go for this, okay, now this is something interesting, because this was explicitly asked by the interviewer in the interview, that what actually is the significance of this. So please note, enable this helps to components to be assigned the ID of the current record. Okay, so it's very useful, helps to assign current record ID to component. These all things you'll be able to see when we are going to see this case studies in future. Okay, but this was asked in interview explicitly, that what is the meaning of has record ID. Okay, and then so here now please note, component can be used in community. Okay, so this is also important. Lightning community, which is also called as bolt, so it also uses Lightning, and all the existing community customer are now using Lightning Bolt, and here again used for, or let's say component can be used in quick action. What is quick action? We are going to see that again in future. Okay, so remember this is all important feature. Fine, so now in this case we have given all this facility. In future, as when we need it, we will just take the benefit of this. Right now, just come down. Now here, write your all business logic. So please note here we write all UI code, not in the application. So write here all UI code. Okay, so let's write here. So I have created my first component. Okay, save it. Okay, just save it. And now this component we are going to call through the application. So the application is nothing but the container from which we call the components. I told you everything yesterday, right? So application is the calling point from which we call the component. Apart from that, there are multiple ways by which we can call the component, but at the beginning level of your journey, like the way we start first of all 1 2 3 and then we start addition and then we start some complex calculation. Similarly, we are right now learning that 1 2 3 by understanding what actually is the ideal and straightforward process. Then in future there are multiple ways by which you can call the component that we'll see, but the most common and primary level way to call component is by application only. Okay, so how to call it? Very simple. Just right here, just right here, C colon. And what is the component name? You can see this. My component name is this. Read here. Okay. So let me mention training first app, FIRST app component. Mhm, Net. Okay. So then just close this. So it's coming with closing and starting tags. That is common. You are looking at, you are watching this kind of things from Visual Force page only, right? Every starting tag will have closing tag. So keep it like this. Okay. And that's it. Now just save everything, click on update preview, and then you have again got a success. You have created your component also. Okay, so you are even ready with component as well. Okay, so this, if you are able to do this kind of things after the session and all while you're practicing, very good. Then you have also passed the second level of your journey. That is also great. Now let's go for something advanced. Now here what we can do as a best practice, or what people in the industry follow. Now as you're not writing anything in the component, okay, you can simply even close here. Just remove this closing, and just at the end you can write something like this. That's also fine. This is also possible, but I don't think so these kind of things are so important and should worry about. So instead of focusing on these things, you focus on logic. So if this is confusing you, simply leave it and just go with this process. Okay, no one is going to say anything, and your app is going to work 100% correctly. So if you want to go with this approach, go for that, don't worry. Okay, now here please note, I'm going to write here. You can see this is working. And now please note how this application is calling the component. So this is code from app. Okay, and I'll show you how it's called. How it's called as a container for calling the components. And this is code for component, or let's this code. This is the code coming from component. Okay, and what I wrote here. This code is from app. Okay, fine. Save all. Okay, and click on update preview and look at this. Look at this. So first the code of application is getting implemented, then the component, right? So this is the structure which Salesforce follow. That is the reason it's called as a container. First application, and within application the component. So let me just paste this also. So when you are going to try your code by your own, at that time you will be able to understand why app is called as container. Okay, so you only test by your own code and understand. And suppose you are going to write now such multiple uh, components and all, then you can see, you can imagine it will be something like this. So let's say I have multiple components, and I will have like this. So let's say component 1, then component 2, like this. I'm having multiple components. That's it. So your application will be container and it's going to contain lots of components like this. Okay. So in future we may also see using multiple components by using the events, one of the highly important and essential topic for your journey. Okay, now let's remove all this because we believe not writing the code in application. So as a best practice, remove this and come back to the component and remove this also. So now let's write something useful. Now here, as a next step, what we are going to do, or let me know first of all, till this point, everyone is clear? Reply in the chat box. I want each and every person should be 100% clear, whatever we are learning. So all clear? Select Shekhar and then type in the chat box. Very good, fantastic. So it means you guys are doing good start. Good to see that. Great. So now keep the same concentration because there are so many interesting things going to come. And next is now something related to the something related to lightning uh, attribute. Okay. So let me now tell you what is the next thing. What is attribute? What is attribute in lightning? Just 1 minute. Let me share the screen again. Okay. So what is attribute in lightning? Now pay attention. First of all, whenever you write any lightning functionality and all, you must have some kind of storage, right? So you should have something which is like variables and all. So please note that the way we use variables, in the same way attributes are used to store information in the lightning component. Okay, so variables in programming helps to save data. In same way we have attributes in lightning. Okay, so now here what we need to do, declare variable. What we do, integer, age, or let's say let me go with string name. Okay, and then we equal to give, let's say for example Shekhar, and that's it, right? So similarly declare attribute by this way. Now how we are going to declare the attribute, pay attention. So first of all, whenever we are going to declare any attribute, then you need to understand the format for that. So first of all, we need to write the name of the attribute, and then we need to write the type of the attribute, and then we need to write some kind of default value to the attribute, and also we can write some kind of description to the attribute, etc, etc. So here is the syntax. Okay, this is syntax, very simple. Let's write one example. Okay, so declaring attribute, so here attribute syntax. Okay, and here example, just copy the same thing and try to make something like this only. Okay, so what is the name of the attribute? The name of the attributes I'm just going to modify here because name and name you will get confused. I will write um employee name. Okay, employee name. Okay, and by the way I just forgot to tell you, please note, now see here, suppose you go to this lightning application. Okay, and suppose see that capital T. Okay, I'm making small t. Okay, save it. Got the error? Please note, very important thing, in the lightning programming you have an additional responsibility which was not there in Apex and Visual Force page, that it's going to be case sensitive. It's going to be a big headache for you if you are going to not follow the discipline, because if you are going to even make a small change in the case, it will not work, your code will fail. Function name is in, let's say function name is something like this, my function something like this, and you are calling my function by using this in the capital, something like this, F capital, it's going to fail. So please note, don't be now so like casual the way you used to be in Apex VF. Here it's going to be a big problem for you. So follow the case sensitivity, otherwise it's going to make big issue in big projects, big tasks. It will take hours and hours to figure out where is the mistake. Okay, so be disciplined in lightning functionality. So now where I was explaining that. So here now we'll write employee name. Okay, so just copy this. Attribute name is employee name. Okay, next I'm writing in different lines, so it will be easy for you to understand. Then what is the type? The type of data is string. And if you want to show any default value, by default value you want to show, you can do this. Let's say by default value I will give Shekhar. Okay, by default value. Okay, or let's say something like John. Okay, some default value. And description, this is a field for employee name. Anything you can write, your wish, you can write, you can leave your wish. Okay, that's it. This way you need to declare the attribute. Okay, now just go for lightning component, just copy this, go for this, and here now in this UI code and all, you declare your attribute. That's it. And here you need to understand one important thing. Let me just take everything in a single line. Okay, and if it is coming, it is going something like this, then you can even take next line. Okay, the only thing you need to understand that this should be within the frame. Okay, otherwise it looks like you never paid any attention in your code and you never worked on that when your code is long and going inside this bracket. So it looks very bad. So try to ensure everything in a single screen. Okay, that is the reason I told you that break this in a separate line. So you can see here my attribute is declared. Okay, that's it. Now this attribute is nothing but my variable, so I can use it for multiple uses that we are going to do, by the way, in upcoming sessions. So now how can I show the value, or let's how can we take the benefit of this variable? Just we need to take the advantage of this variable. How we can do this? So please note, to take this to take the advantage of this variable, we can do one thing. And one more important thing, please note that here uh, whenever we want to declare any kind of uh, attribute, we must write this aura attribute. Again, it's a namespace. Okay, remember everything you get aura and something like this, these are all namespace. Okay, so initial 2-3 times you will get difficulty to remember that, but after that, after 3-4 days of practice, it will be very easy for you to understand everything. Okay, and in the like in this process, the name and all these things are very important. Apart from that, you can also make the things like type and all these things mention, you can compulsory mention here. And apart from that, lots of things like mandatory and all will be there, but that you can do edit, that you can skip. These are all optionally. Okay, so now next is here. Now we are going to see one example how you can take the benefit. So now this is very important, where many people get confused, but you guys will not confuse in my training program. I have seen many people while taking interviews for some people, I realize that they are having huge confusion in calling the things from component and something calling from the um, JavaScript code, etc., etc. So please note, suppose you want to take the benefit of this attribute. Now what you need to do is, first of all, please note, I want to show here. Now this is my variable. Okay, but I want to show on the screen. See here, I want to show this value on the screen. If I just save all, and if I run this application, nothing is going to come in the output. Look at this. See, nothing is coming. There is no output because I didn't mention anything. Now I want to mention the name, the variable. Whatever is in the variable, I want to get it. I want to show it. Then now see here. Okay, go to component and right here the name of employee employee we just stored is equal to, okay, save. Now what to do? It will, how to show this value, how to show this attribute. Okay, now please note, there are two things which confuse many people. One is v and one is c. So please note, first of all, tell me, let me tell you one hint, and now if you understand this, then you will never have any confusion. V means anything which is related to view, and C means anything related to controller or business logic. Now tell me, is this variable which I want to show is a part of view or is a part of any JavaScript controller or Apex controller? Tell me, is it a part of V or C? Fantastic. Now that's it. Now you will have no confusion here onwards. In future you are correct, it's part of V. That's it. Fantastic. So now we need to use this by V. That's it. V dot. Now just use the name, employee name. That's it. Okay, but here we need to just use a small syntax, because directly using this Salesforce will not allow. We need to use a binding, and the same binding we did in the Visualforce page, we need to do the same thing here. Just, you remember in Visualforce page everything was like this. If you remember, in Visualforce page everything is like this, something like this, everything inside this, right? Same thing you do here in the bracket v dot, then take employee name and paste. Now always note, it should be small v. Okay, again don't do mistake, it should be small v. If you write capital V, you're gone. It's again going to waste your time, you're not able to understand what's happening, and etc etc. Okay, so now write this, and okay, write this. Okay, and that's it, saved. Now click on save all, and now click on preview. That's it, another success. This is absolutely, this is absolutely straightforward. So if you are able to do something like this, be confident that because it's going, it shows that you are going very good. Okay, there is small mistake here, spelling is correct, wrong, employee, fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to here pass this code in your chat box. In next 1 minute you immediately declare one, you immediately declare this, modify this code and give me the code, like employee first name, employee last name, and show me the full name in the screen. Okay, so immediately do this. Here is the code, please proceed. Modify the code immediately, give me two variables, first name, last name, and give default value also, any default value your wish, and then write a code in which if I run your code, it should show me on the screen the first name, last name. So please proceed. Fantastic, I'm getting some answers also. Please do that quickly. I want such a code by which I'm just going to copy paste your code. Okay, so I'm not going to change anything. Give me code like this. Give me the combination of first name, last name. Last half minute for everyone. Last half minute for everyone. Do this lab assignment, and don't need to write in lightning component or something like that. Just write in the notepad and make the modifications. If you are able to do the mock code, you can do coding anywhere. Last 15 seconds. Yeah, great, fantastic. So now let me see. I'm just going to copy your code, okay, and I'm going to just copy and paste in my environment, expecting it should work. So let me take any random code from any student. I'm going to take code from any student, and fine. I just copied the code from a student, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now see this code. I'm going to replace by student's code and paste. So let's see what he did. Okay, now I'm going to remove this. I don't want to jump into that step directly. So let me now take something from other, because we will go with the step-by-step mode. And let me go with this, because I want you guys to go with the step-by-step approach. So not jumping directly to this. I will use this format. Okay, this code from another student. Okay, now see. First of all, what the student did here. Aura, first name string John, correct. Description, okay, good. Last name string do, okay, good. Or it's also fine. The name of the employee just stored is now he's using v dot employee name. Is it correct? Okay, that it looks the variable name is different. So copy, and here just copy the first name, and let me just take in the next line, and name of the employee stored is, okay, first of all give first name and remove this, and next is copy last name. That's it. Okay, first name last name, and let me take in a single line. Fine. So let's save it, go to application, run the application, and that's it. It's coming. Now here, to ensure that you are giving some kind of spacing in all, or comma, something like that, you can just even give a comma, something like this, save it, and come to this page, that is output page, refresh page, and that's it. Okay, so fantastic guys, this is correct, and almost everyone gave the correct answer. So you have done a good start for your lightning journey. Now in the next meeting we are going to have one case study, first case study, and we are going to understand some fantastic things, how we can combine this logic, because whatever we did right now is everything in the lightning component, but next time we are going to use this logic associated with the controller logic. Okay, we are going to combine like this. So now it will be giving some more advantage, more knowledge for you. Then after that we'll combine the logic with helper, then we'll combine the logic with style. So this way we will try to become more and more perfect in using all these things, and then one by one, back to back advanced things. Okay, so that's all with this session, and now next session is going to be on Saturday. So 18th Saturday. Oh, I will be in journey. uh, okay, I will inform you. So either we'll take 2 hours in Sunday or something like that, but I will inform you. The next session will be in the coming weekends, and I will update you about that. And in this week, entire week, you work and all these things, do practice, and any help needed, let me know. Have a good week ahead. See ya. I'm signing off.